Netflix isn't ready for the One Piece live action show, and neither are you. I believe that the One Piece live action show is going to be a phenomenon. And I think that a lot of the criticism that is coming to the live action One Piece show is that I think people are thinking about it in a way as of a live action anime adaptation. And I think that's wrong. I think this is going to be its own live action show. What's the difference? A live action anime adaptation, from my perspective, is somebody basically trying to make an anime live action, right? They're trying to make a live action anime rather than making a live action show from the source. And that's the difference that the One Piece live action show is going to have, and I think that's the benefit that's going to have and the advantages it will have over the other live action shows. Because the other live action shows are trying to make live action anime, and One Piece isn't. The showrunners, first of all, the whole cast and crew, seem to be absolutely in love with One Piece. And then on top of that, they have another layer of, they have, I believe, the biggest budget for a Netflix show ever right now. And they also have Eiichiro Oda himself. They don't have the source material, they have the source. And that is, I think, going to make the biggest difference. A lot of live action anime adaptations try and translate anime to live action. They try to copy paste as much as they can and then repackage it in live action. And that's just not going to work. It doesn't really work. It doesn't. Because, for one, you have a direct comparison of the anime and the live action. And even though folks are going to do that with One Piece, I think it is smartest to not directly compare the anime with the live action. I believe that they have translated the things that Eiichiro Oda thinks could translate well into live action. So I think some of the CG stuff is going to be good. And I think some of the characters are going to stay pretty much the same. But it's nearly impossible to have the same effects, the same characters, the same angles and shots and world-building scope in live action as you do in anime. You're not going to get the same angles. You're not going to get the same proportions for the characters. They're going to have to be more realistic. Is that a problem? In my opinion, no. Because I know that the crew and the cast are all doing their absolute best to put Eiichiro Oda's vision on screen. And he's the one that's making all the major decisions. So when you think about it that way, of the source of One Piece, not just the source material, but the source of One Piece, is making as many decisions as he can to make a live action show really good, I think you're going to see a really good show. And I think the downfall, the negativity, will come from directly comparing the live action to the anime. And I think that's a moot point for this show. That's the reason I use the words One Piece live action show instead of anime adaptation. A small but good example of this is Luffy's shoes. He is no longer wearing flip-flops, because guess what? You can't do stunts in flip-flops. You can't. You cannot do stunts in flip-flops. Flip-flops do not interact with the ground in a way that they do in the anime. You're going to see a lot less cutesy-patootsy stuff in the live action. I think you're going to see a completely different vibe in the live action compared to the anime. I think it might be a little bit darker. I think it might be, there's going to be how do I say, like a realistic, almost less fantastical vibe to the live action than to the anime. I really believe that you're going to see a more quote-unquote realistic version of One Piece. It's going to be a similar story, but I think we're going to see a lot of differences. And I think those differences are going to be good, because those are differences that are going to be made to specifically house the idea of One Piece in a real-world situation, if you want to call it like that. Like I said, flip-flops versus closed-toed shoes. There are some things you're not going to see in the live action that are in the anime. There are certain abilities, characteristics, character traits that I think we're going to see less of, and definitely less played out in the live action than we would see in the anime. Is this a bad thing? Well, with Eiichiro Oda himself at the helm, I don't think so. I think we're going to see a very different, but still fantastic, One Piece show. And I think it's probably going to break the internet. I believe that the One Piece show is going to bring a lot of non-Netflix subscribers to Netflix. I think it's going to bring a lot of people who dropped Netflix back to Netflix. And I think they're going to see a spike. A really, really, really big spike. They're going to see a lot of non-Netflix users who watch anime, who love One Piece, hop on over to Netflix, get a subscription, and watch the show. And then they might stay for other shows. And I think that's going to do the same thing for anime. You're going to see a lot of live action only people watch this, get curious about One Piece itself, start watching One Piece, and then maybe bleed over into other anime. So I think there's going to be growth for everybody. I also am expecting insane conversation online. Trending on Twitter, trending on TikTok, trending on Facebook Watch, Instagram Reels, YouTube and YouTube Shorts. Heck, even those new sites like Rumble and Kick are probably going to be talking about it. This is going to be huge. I don't think Netflix is ready for it, and I think everybody who talks about the One Piece live action is really underestimating just how big it's going to be and just how phenomenal of a live action show it's going to be. So those are my thoughts on the One Piece live action show. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit subscribe if you want to see more nerdy content, and I'll see you in the next one.